Okay, so we are about to start our project. We are about to start. So what you're going to do is you go to your any drive that you work your project out. I'm going to my culture dev, and then I'll go to startup, and I'll create a new folder. Sorry, I'll go to mini projects. So create a folder where you'll be working your project in. Okay, so I have this is where I keep most small projects. So I'll come here and I'll right click and I'll create a new folder and I'll call it Hackathon. I'll call it Hackathon. Then inside my Hackathon, maybe I'll create a new folder and I'll call it CHIPSET website, like this. Okay, I create a folder where I'm going to keep every hackathon project we'll be doing in the course of from now to any time we end. Here I create that folder and I create another project called CHIPSET website. Okay, this is where we are going to keep every detail of our website in. Okay, good. So now we need to come back to our design. We need an image. We need an image similar to this young man here. So we need to download an image, okay, for this particular project. We need an image. So we go on Google. So we go on Google, then we search for on Splash. Here you can get free stock images, okay, without copyright. Okay, you come to unsplash.com, just search for Unsplash, okay, on Splash. Then you click on unsplash.com. Here you can get a lot of free images, best images. Hello, you come to unsplash.com. Here you can get free best images. So we search for schoolboy. So let's search for schoolboy. Oh, let's search for schoolboy. So we're waiting. Alright, so we've gotten some school students here. I am an African, a proud African. I'll choose this boy here, or any of the boys here. But let's pick up something that is nice for our faculty, you know. Yeah, definitely. I like this kit, but we cannot use that kit for our design. Okay, this guy is seated in front of a computer, so I think we should. This guy is seated in front of a computer, so I think we should use this guy. Okay, so we just. Oh no! Let's not use schoolboy. Let's use something else. Let's use something like. Let's go like software developer, or let's say programmer. Let's search for programmer. Okay, let's search for programmer images for our website. For that image, okay, let's rather use a programmer. So let's use any of these images here available. Any of these images available. You can just, we want someone inside trying to code. Okay, so let's pick this premium. We don't want premium stock, we want free one. So okay, so I'm trying to get an image, a simple one. Okay, let's pick up this image. Okay, so I'll just download this image here. It is free, so you just click on download, and so we are going to save it inside our project folder. So you can get an image where you can save it into your project folder. So I'm trying to download this image. My network is taking long. Okay, let's pick up medium size. It's taking really long, I don't know why. Okay guys, so whilst it's actually downloading and it's pending because of the network, let's create another new folder inside the CHIPSET website. We create a new folder and we call the folder image, like this, images. Call it images. Okay, images. But now hold on, before you create this folder, okay, we said we are going to structure our website like we are creating a real world project, so we are not going to call it images, we are rather going to call it public. Now in most of websites that we upload to a server, we keep all files like our HTML files, our detailed HTML files, our resources, we keep our resources inside the public folder. Our resources like our images, we keep our CSS, our JavaScript that will be loading, our jQuery, everything that will be loading outside, we keep it inside the public folder. Okay, your index.html can be inside the public folder or can be outside the public folder, any way you want it, but we want to have our images inside the public. Okay, so we come into the public, that is where we can keep just one image here. We don't have to create images here, we just have to keep one image here. So let's see if we can still download. I don't know if it actually downloaded, but let's see if it really downloaded. It didn't download. It's still loading. Okay, so it's still not being able to download. The network is not helping. So let's try and then use any existing image I have here. So I'll go to my images here and try to see if I have any image around. Okay, I have a schoolboy image here. I just copy that image. So if you have any image on your system, you can just get it. I just wanted to go through every stage with you, but we have to skip some of the things. So I come here. So inside the public, I'll paste it inside my public. Okay, so I'll paste it. So paste your image inside your public. Good. So now let's open our Visual Studio Code. So I've opened my Visual Studio Code. This is my Visual Studio Code, is still loading. Okay, so new window. Okay, okay, so guys, what we are going to do now that we have our Visual Studio Code open, this is what we're going to do. We are going to choose this open folder. Okay, we are going to choose open folder, or you go to file, then you choose open folder. You go to file, then you choose open folder, then you scroll to your location where your project folder is being kept. Okay, so mine is at culture, it is at mini project, and it's at hackathon, and it's at website, the chipset website. So this is the folder. So we select chipset website. Okay, this folder, we don't select the public, we will select only this one, the chipset folder. We open into this one, then you click on select folder. Please, I hope you guys get this. If anybody's encountering any problem, do let me know, please. Anyone encountering any, so we need to create our index.html file. So I'll click on new and I'll type index.html like this. So we'll have our index.html file here. Then inside our public, you have to expand your public folder. Okay, we create a new file. We create a new file inside our public folder. So you expand public, then you create a new file and you call this style.css. Style.css like this. So you have your style.css and then your schoolboy, your image inside the public folder. So your style.css and your image will be in your public folder. Then your index.html will be here. So now that we have these two, we can actually split our screen into two, so that we have HTML on the far left and then we have CSS on the far right. So in order to do that, we'll just have to select here that we'll choose the split screen, this one, and then we'll split our screen. Then we can move the CSS, we can click and then drag and hold to the far right like this. Then we can close one of this one. So we'll just close this one. So we have our index.html here and then our style.css here. Or better still, we can do this. We can have this. You just select, you see these two here, you just select style.css and then you click on this. You have your style.css here and then your index.html style.css here, then you close one. Then you have one on the left and one on the right, so that you can be coding hand in hand. Now the next thing you have to do is you have to write your HTML basic code. So since we are using Visual Studio with our intelligence or whatever, we can say HTML like this, and I will choose HTML5, and then autocomplete or autocomplete generate, it will auto generate the codes for us. Okay, then we'll change the title. Change the title to CHIPSET GDSC like this. CHIPSET, then this sign here and then GDSC. Okay, if you like, you can make it the backward slash any way you want it. I just want this. So CHIPSET space and then GDSC. So inside our body, that is where we are going to start creating the structure of our website. Now our CSS needs to be linked to our HTML. Okay, so we'll come below the title. Okay, just below the title we'll create a link, and then we'll create a relation that is rel okay, so we'll create a link here. We are trying to link our style.css to our index.html. So we have link rel, then inside the rel we'll specify the kind of relation. Okay, a style sheet. Okay, we are dealing with the style sheet, so link rel style sheet. Okay, and then href for the location of style.css, where style.css is located at. We need to references to that point. Okay, and then we can, even before, we can say type hello guys. So we can specify the type as a text and then is a CSS, right? Like this. Then here we can just do the dot slash then public Okay, we are trying to navigate into our public folder, so we say dots. Okay, I'm increasing the font style, the size, so that we can see properly. Sorry for my network cut. Okay, sorry for my network cut. So we have our CSS linked, so we need to do this dots slash, and then we'll choose public. Okay, then we'll get this option, then we'll choose style or CSS. So with this, we'll be able to link our public, our style or CSS to our index.html. So we need to test it to see if it is really linked. So for that matter, we'll select the body tag, and then we'll say background color. Let's make it blue just to test it. So I have an extension that says go live. Okay, or you can go to your project, where your project is, that is the CHIPSET website. You can come here, then you double click on index.html. So I double click on index.html, and you can see our website is nice here. It is linked. Our CHIPSET /GDSC is well linked. Our CSS is well linked with it. Good. So let me open it in live so that we will not be refreshing most of the time. So yeah, we have it here. Good. So now we need to look at lunacy. What do we need first? We need our head. Okay, we need our header. We need a header here. Before this content or body area, there may be a footer. So we need this one, the first one. So we are going to create this logo here together with this menu. Okay, we are going to create it together with this menu. So in order to do that, we'll come to our body, then we start creating the structure of our HTML website. So we'll create a division. We'll create a div. Okay, so we'll do div dot, I will create same container, main container dot main container, like this. So we create a div with a class main container. So inside our main container, that is where we are going to have everything. Okay, that is where we are going to have everything in our website. Now we need a header, so we're going to create a div with a class header. Okay, so create a div with a class header, and then inside our header we have two components. Okay, we have two components. In React we call them component. We have one, and then this, we have the logo and the menu. So simply we can create an h3 tag like this, and then we call it CHIPSET GDSC. So CHIPSET, and then stroke horizontal line, and then GDSC. Forgotten the name of this. I don't know whether it's a horizontal line or whatever. So CHIPSET slash this. So we have our logo here. This will be our logo, and then our menu. For our menu, we'll create another div. Okay, and then we'll call this main menu. We'll call it menu. So we create a div with a class menu. Okay, so we create a div with a class menu. Then inside of that menu, we create a UL with an LI. Now UL li, this is, we are creating a menu. Okay, we are creating an unordered list. Okay, we are creating an unordered list, so we need to duplicate these ones. We'll come back to our Lunacy. We have home, about us, pages, services, courses, blog, and then contact us. So we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. So we have our LI, 7 of them. So we are going to start here. We'll create a link. Okay, we're going to create a link. We're going to create a link for our home. Okay, we just have to copy, and then we'll come here, then we'll paste. Okay, then we'll change this one to about, then we'll come here, then this one to change it to blog. Let's look at it again. Pages, we'll change this one to pages. So let's not call this pages, let's call this let's make it simple and short. Let's make it gallery, and then let's make this contact, and then let's make this one sign in. Okay, let's make this one sign in, and then let's remove the others. So let's remove the others. So we would have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, and then we have this. So this one too, let's just take them out. So we call this sign in. Okay, so if you look at it clearly, we linked our CSS to test whether we tested our CSS to see if it is well linked. Then we created a div. Okay, we created a div with a class name main container. Okay, and then we created another div inside the main container, and we gave it a class header, and then we gave it an h3, okay, as our logo, and then we called it CHIPSET. That is our faculty club and faculty group name, and then Google Developer Student Club name here as our logo. And then we have a menu. So the menu, we created another div with a class of what menu, and then we have a list of items here on other list with links. Okay, so everything here is a link, okay, with hash symbol here. Now the hash symbol means that the link shouldn't be active. Okay, if you click on it, nothing should happen. It wouldn't go anywhere. Okay, it wouldn't refresh the page or do any other thing. Good. So now that we have this, let us save. Okay, and then let's check from our website what our website had gotten to. Let's remove the blue. Let's remove this from our CSS. Okay, now let's come to our website, and then we can see we have chipset here, and then we can see our menu nice here in this line. Now we don't want our menu to be looking like this. We want our menu to be looking exactly like what we are seeing here. It is inline. Okay, it is in we'll say, is it vertical or is it, yeah, vertical. It's a vertical line. It's in a vertical order like this. So we want it to be inline, and then we want the logo to be separate from our menu, and then we want to have some margin here. Okay, good. So now we need to come to our back to our CSS, and then we are going to do this. Just follow me. We're going to do body. We're going to do HTML, comma, body, which means we are targeting both the HTML document itself and then a body. We want to remove all spaces. Okay, if you look inside our browser, you can see there's spaces at the top, spaces at the side, below. We want to remove all those spaces. Okay, so we'll come here and then we say margin 0. Margin means that's around, okay, the spaces around, and then the spaces inside, which is padding. Our padding should be what? 0. So our margin 0 and our padding 0. So we come here and you can see that our margin padding have been removed for us. Okay, we have the spaces that have been removed. So now let's structure the website very well. So we'll come below here, then we say border 1 pixel solid. Okay, 1 pixel solid. Now we are giving the border to just know the why we're just trying to create a structure. That is why we are using border 1 pixel solid. Okay, now we'll come here and you can see we have our border line all around, so we can get to know our menu. Okay, now we want to bring the whole of this to the far right, and then this one also will be on the left, but we don't want it to be in that order. We don't want that font style. Okay, so we want to change the font style. Okay, we want to change how our text look like. So we are going to say font family for font style. In CSS we're going to say font family, and then we're going to choose sans serif. Okay, sans serif, we're going to choose this, and we'll come here and then we'll have a simple nice text style. Now we want to remove, we're going to remove the dot lines here, the bulletin, and then the underline. Okay, we don't want this decoration. We call this a text decoration. We don't want to have this text decoration, so we need to come, but before that we need to remove all future spaces. Okay, we need to box size everything, make everything in order. So we are going to target all elements. So asterisk means all element. Asterisk, okay, it means all elements. So we're going to target all elements. Then we say margin for all elements should be 0, and then the padding for all elements should be 0, and then say box sizing should be border box. Okay, so that we get everything even. Okay, the box, the kind of box structure we'll be using will become even. Good. So now that we have this, we need to work on this one, our main menu, our menu here. We need to remove all the bulletin. So we are going to target the menu, and then target the UL, and then the LI, and then everything inside. So here we'll say dot to select the menu, using, since the menu is a class, so we say dot like this, and then we'll go straight forward in saying sorry, we're going to target the UL inside. Okay, we're going to target the UL inside, then we'll say display should be flex. Okay, so the items, the elements should display flex. It should be flexible, so you can see it's flexed. Okay, nicely, it flexed nicely. It was inline. We placed everything in line. We placed it in line. Okay, good. So now the next thing we're going to do is that we need to remove all the bulletins. So we say text decoration. Sorry, we are going to remove every bulletin. We are going to remove every bulletin, and then when you look at our browser carefully, you can see this blue line here. Okay, good. So first, let's remove the bulletin by saying list style type, and then we're going to specify as none. Okay, so the list style type is going to be what? None. Now we come to our browser, you can see that the bulletin have been removed nicely. Good. So now we are done with targeting the UL. We need to target the LI, this one, the LI. So we'll come here below, and then we'll say menu UL, then greater than li, to show that we are targeting the li directly under it. Okay, so let me give a comment here and then say menu. This is for best practice, for you to know that this is for menu, okay, and this is for all elements. Good. So here inside this one, we'll say we're going to give it a border, okay, with 1 pixel solid. All right, so we come here, we can see there's a border all around it. We need to space them out, okay, we need to space them out, so we are going to give them padding and then margins. Okay, so we want to be even, so we're going to give them a margin of, we're going to focus on the margin more than the padding, so we're going to say a margin of let's say 0.5 em. Okay, it's another measuring unit in web development, HTML, CSS. Okay, so we're not pixels, so 0.5 em. We want to have some kind of response, we want to make our website a little bit responsive, so we've gotten some spaces here. Nice. Now in our design, we can see this is here and this is here, so we need to separate it. Okay, so we need to separate them. Okay, so we need to separate this guy, this div, from our HL. So what we're going to do is that we need to target the header. We need to target the header, this one, the parent container, the header. So we'll say header. Okay, we'll say header, then we'll tell header to display what? Flex. Now by default, anytime something flexes, the items all move to the far left. Okay, though it will flex, but it will move to the, it will be in line, but it will move to the far left. We want the spacing, we want this to be here and then this to be there. Okay, like in the design here, with some padding and things. So what we are going to do is that we are going to come here, we want to align the items to be center. Okay, and we'll come here, we refresh our browser, we can see that the items have been aligned in proper order. It is in line. Okay, none is above the other, so it has been aligned nicely. Now we need to try and then separate them. So we'll come here, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to say justify content. Okay, the items inside, so justify content space between. Okay, so we want space between this menu and then this item. So we'll come here, and then you see there's a space between the two. The items have actually spaced out. Okay, so there's one here and there's the other on the other side. Good. So this is the codes. So let me go over again. We actually targeted the HTML and then the body. So we said HTML comma body, then we gave it a margin 0, padding 0, and then the margin 0, padding 0, it means that we are removing every space inside the body and then outside the body. And then we gave it a font family as sans serif, that every item, every text inside the HTML body should be sans serif. Okay, the font style. We just gave it a border 1 pixel solid just to know the structure of what we are actually dealing with. Okay, good. Now we can remove that very structure if we want. We can just delete that very structure, and then we use the asterisk to represent all items. Okay, the asterisk means is that all elements inside the HTML document should be selected, and then we should remove the margin, we should remove any padding, and then we should make the box size and what? Border box Okay, we'll just make time and go deep into CSS. Okay, good. Now, and then we targeted the menu. We targeted this menu, and then we targeted the direct item inside the menu, that is UL, and then we told it to display flex, and then meaning it should be flexible. It should be able to adjust itself, and then it should be flexible. Just take note of that. And then we make use of list style type none to remove all bulletin. Okay, now we further moved on to target the LI inside the inside the UL to give it a border one pixel solid. So if you look at it carefully, you can see some borders around it, so it's just 1 pixel thin solid. And then the margin is 0.5 m. So if you check it very clearly, you can see that you can see there's space here, there's space here, there's space here, there's space here. Good. Now we don't want it to be far off. Okay, we want them to push to the middle. We want them to push into the middle. Okay, not like necessarily in the middle, but we want to create huge margin. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to target header, this guy. We can target header, or we can target main container. So best way, let's target main container instead of targeting header. So we'll come above, and then let's create another content comment saying main container. Okay, and then here we're going to target our main container, right? So inside our main container, we are going to say that our main container should display what? Flex. We are going to make almost everything display flex, but we'll make use of grid. Okay, so display flex. So if you look at it again, our main container displayed what? Flex. Now let's put a border around our header. So border 1 pixel solid here. Okay, so when you refresh, you can see that we don't want it to be shifted to this side. We want it to take the rest of the space, but this is the case. The items here is a whole lot of things. Okay, there are things here, there's something here that we don't see. We don't want it to be like that. We want that thing to be low, and then our header at the top. Okay, so if you look at it, our header is at the top, so we want our header to be at the top and everything below. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to say flex direction. By default, flex direction is called is row, so by default we set it to column. Flex direction to be column, so that one will put our header at the very top. Then we can then target this guy and then say margin. Sorry, not instead of margin, we're going to say pattern, and then we're going to use auto, and then maybe about 30 m. Okay, so auto and then 30 m. So our pattern, the top here is our pattern. Okay, the top side and the downside will be auto, and then the right and left will be 30 m. So we'll come here and then we refresh our browser. It didn't work, so let's come back again and let's check what is actually wrong. Let's give our main container border 1 pixel solid. Okay, all right. So let me make it rem and let me see what will happen. Nothing happened. So let's redo it again. Let's just change this one. Let's do it this way. Let's see what will happen. It still doesn't reflect. let me come back and then let me go live again. Alright, so let's give it a color red so that we can identify. Let's give our main container border box 1 pixel solid. Let's give it a color red, okay, so that we can identify it properly. Okay, so we've been able to identify it, and let's assume our padding is 30 and let's see what will happen. I just want to know. Okay, so it just moved. 30 is very huge. We don't want 30 so let's make this 3 and then let's make this auto. So auto is automatic. Okay, automatically it should be able to adjust itself. This thing is not minding me, so since it's not actually working, we are trying to target the main container, but it's not trying to respond. So let's target the header. Okay, so let's remove this and then let's take it to the header. Let's take it to the header. Here we'll say margin. Okay, so auto 3 and then we can see we've created margin here, auto 3 that is very nice. Now we can see that this is our main container. It is stuck at the top there. We want to open it up. Okay, we want it to fill up the space below, so we'll come here and then say height. We are giving it a height of about we can come to the top here. Let's give our HTML body and everything a height. Okay, let's come here and then say height 100 view height. The view 100 view height is concerned with the viewport. Okay, we'll talk about the units more later. So 100 view height. Then we should say overflow should be hidden. So in case our website overflows, since we are creating a landing page, we don't want our website to be overflowing, like trying to overbank, going overboard, okay, beyond our border. So we'll go there like that, and then the height, okay, the height for this one, we can make it 100%. Or we can actually leave it like that. Okay, so now if you look at design, we are almost close. You can see this, we are almost close. So we have this here and then we have that here. So let's remove this blue text from here. Let's remove all the blue. Let's change this one to blue. We'll soon end this thing and continue it on Friday. Okay, so this is it. We need to remove all the blues from our anchors. Okay, so we'll target the anchors, all the anchor that will come in future. We want to target all of them, and then we'll say text decoration should be none. So we should remove all the blue in the anchors. Okay, text decoration should be none. So we'll come back to here, and then we can see that the underline, sorry, we've removed all the underlines. Every underline that was there, we've removed it. So we can now change the color of our anchor. Okay, so let's change the color. So we say color, let's change it to the kind of blue we wanted. So we want to come here and then let's do a color pick. Okay, let's pick up a color. So Lunacy is very good. We can use it to pick colors. Okay, and then use the colors. Okay, so we've picked up this color. That's the hexadecimal code hash. We've picked up this color to create a menu here. Then we can go further in removing all the border 1 pixel solid from here. We can go further in removing everything. Okay, so we've been able to remove it. We are much closer. We are getting closer to our design. Okay, so we can come back here. We've moved that one. Let's keep on with it. Let's target our header, our H3. We're going to have only so we're going to say header and then H3. We're going to target header and our H3, and then we're going to change that color, okay, to our Lunacy color. So we need to pick that color. This is it. So let's copy and then let's use that color hexadecimal code here. So we are going to change the color for this one, the H3, the heading. So we are almost close to what is in our design here, but let's increase this color. Okay, let's increase it a little bit. So let's come to Lunacy and then let's increase it a bit. Okay, so we change the whole of this one into this, and then we can get a much brighter color here. Now let's try to create this contact us thing button here, this huge thing here, and then let's try to increase the space inside our header. Okay, so we'll target our header. We'll come back to our header here. We can remove this border box 1 pixel solid, but not now. So let's create an internal padding of 1 okay, not rem but rather m. I would like to use m for this one. Okay, so we've had a much bigger environment to work on. So okay, so now we can remove the border box, border 1 pixel solid. We can remove that one, and then we'll have a nice heading here. So we are almost halfway. It's left with one thing, that is the contact us. Let's add it here. So we'll come here, then you copy, we just speed up a little bit, and then here we'll put in contact us. Okay, now we want to target this one. Okay, this one alone. So instead of we having href here, we want to remove this, and then we're going to make this a button. Okay, let's make it a button. So here we're going to say and then we're going to say contact us like this, and when we come here we're going to see a nice button here. So we're going to edit this button. Okay, so we'll target the button. So we're going to say dot menu. Okay, the menu, then button. Okay, so this is our menu. We are targeting the button inside the menu. So this is the menu class. Okay, we are targeting the button inside this menu class. Then the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to remove all border around our menu. So border is going to be specified to none. So there's no border. We are going to increase the padding. We're going to increase the padding. So we're going to increase the padding. We're going to make it stretch out, okay, like a box. Inside our design, we can see it's actually stretched. It's stretched like that. So we want it to stretch that way. So we'll give it a top of 0.5 m. Then the second value will be 1 m. Let's see if it becomes relevant as we need it. We can see something like that there, but we can see it is actually going off the grid. So what it means is that we should probably increase. We should come here and then increase our li. Sorry, we should give our li a padding. Okay, this one, our menu ul li. Okay, we should give it a padding of also about 0.5 em, so that it balances. Okay, so we'll come here, and at least we've not seen any better balance, but in order to solve this issue, let's not do this. Let's remove that one from there. In order to solve that issue, we'll rather come into our ul. Okay, because it's already displaying flex, we can come straight forward and then say align items center. Align items to what? Center, so that it will put all the items perfectly on the center line without having to create additional spaces like padding or padding this, margin that. Okay, so you come to your menu ul, then you give it align items or center, so that it can perfectly align our item. So the button, again, we scroll down to the button, and then we'll give it the color from our lunacy. So we'll pick up that color. Okay, we'll copy that color. Then we'll say background, then hash, then so hexadecimal code for that. We'll come here, and then nicely we have it here. Now let's change the text color for the button. Okay, so we'll change it. We'll change it to white. Okay, now the hexadecimal code is #FFF. Okay, this will give us white. Now we'll come here and we can see that we have a nice thing here. Okay, we have this nice heading. So let's now remove something else. Let's remove this one, the main container border 1 pixel solid. Let's remove that one from there. Okay, let's remove it, and then also let's leave this one. We'll discuss this one later. So you can see that we've been able to construct our heading. Okay, let's try to push this one inside. Okay, let's try to push it much inside. So we'll come back here, our header, we're going to increase this one to about 5 m. That is about 50 plus pixels. So we'll come here, and then we can see that huge margin. So thank you for today. Okay, the session has been recorded. We'll continue on God Permit Friday. That will be 1-on-1. Because of my health issue, that is why we weren't able to meet today. in the lab. But thank you for joining. Thank you a lot for paying. When we meet one-on-one, we'll go again all over again, and then we'll start from scratch again and then build the whole thing. So thank you for your time and everything. If you have any question, please do let me know. So we'll continue Go Permit Friday, okay, and then we'll see how far we can actually carry on with our website, on the front end and back end and everything. We'll start again afresh. We'll review our minds and everything. So thank you for your time and everything. God bless.